This is really bad.
Before the fire came an explosion.
That's what blew. That section right there that's folded over.
A person who works across the street from sealing agents in Fletcher heard it first.
I called 911 after there was an explosion next door.
People heard this explosion a mile away.
It's just a big bang, like a boom, pretty much.
Connor Murphy didn't just hear it, he felt it.
Yeah.
His whole house shook. After the bang came the smoke and flames.
Like a little turbine, like a turbine almost. But yeah, it was super, super dark smoke, which I've never seen before. It was almost black.
You could see the smoke at least 2 miles away, but a few came for a closer look.
I'm a gawker.
When the fire started, there were 2 employees inside. The Fletcher fire chief says there were no injuries. Had there been, Kent Schumacher knows he wouldn't be standing here.
It was nothing like I ever experienced before. It was just like my whole body was just encapsulated in this just like shock wave. And I looked back and saw just like smoke and a lot of shrapnel kind of come over this wall, and then I just got out.
Before leaving, Kent ran around to see if anyone else was inside. But that doesn't make him feel like Clark Kent.
Not at all. I feel like I need to be saved by Superman.
Schumacher says he doesn't know what happened. The fire marshal will investigate how the fire started. Sealing Agents is a waterproofing company, saved from any further damage by an inundation of water. There's a takeaway for Schumacher from this experience.
Be thankful for what you got.
They've got it under control right now.
Trying to block them from, because we're going to be cutting right here.
Sparks will fly.
It's quite a thing. I come from California. We don't do this for our turkeys.
I've never seen this much manpower, for wild animals to be rescued. It's wonderful.
Little squirmy babies with mama's stressed.
It's quite a scene.
He's got one. You bring it straight up there, Mike.
What are they called when they're baby turkeys? Turklings?
They'll just go back out in the wild and mama will grab them and they'll go on their way.
It's got wheels.
It's a hefty setup.
I'm slow but tradeable.
Rolling out all the pieces that make up the Henderson County Rescue Squad's SAR sonar, only the second one in the state.
You imagine a laser or a flashlight is probably the best way to explain it. So as it spins, that flashlight's going to come and it's going to hit your body, and we're going to see your body, and then behind it, just like a flashlight would, your body's going to produce what we call a shadow.
Using sound as their eyes and ears to locate whatever lies under the water.
This over here is going to be the concrete wall that is at the edge of the lake. Your diver is the pink dot standing right here. He's standing straight up because he's casting a shadow.
The next step in the process is finding different items. So we've got this gun here, and we're going to see how long it takes him to find it.
If I look right here where my cursor's at, I can see some type of target that was not on there prior to you throwing the weapon in. So that indicates to me that that would be a diveable target for our diver to go look at.
That spot is where the gun is. And just a few minutes later,
you want to come on up with it?
Boom!
Bingo, on target.
Obviously, this is just a practice run, but the benefits of this device have already been seen thanks to help from Charlotte in 2013.
We dove for 3 days. On the third day, we called in Charlotte Fire and Rescue, who was able to bring their Kongsberg sonar system up. And once it deployed, within about 10 minutes, we were able to bring the victim up.
Now they have the same device and can recover whatever they're looking for.
That's the ultimate goal is for life safety and to be able to deploy the system quickly and efficiently to be able to bring them back to attempt life saving.
A goal with a little help from a new device in Henderson County.
It's as if nature knows an uphill battle is still ahead.
It's a tinderbox waiting to go up.
Billowing smoke marks the spot where the Dodson Knob wildfire marches on.
Pray for these folks around here that everything will go the way it should go and the fire will go out.
As the fire mows down real estate, Jim Bourne wears a mask to get through routine yard work in smoky conditions.
It burns. It burns your eyes. The COPD isn't too bad.
But he's nowhere close to breathing easier. About 100 firefighters have fanned out across the hot zone.
We run away from it, they run toward it.
Watch yourself, Larry. This group hoses down already blackened areas, making sure they don't flare up again. Moving debris that could add fuel to the fire.
That should be good. Right now we're just mopping up.
So far, little progress in containing the fire, attacking the crisis on the ground and by air. These firefighters from Sugar Hill Montford Cove Fire Department tapped into the North Fork River.
We're setting up a water point so these trucks can come and auto-fill themselves.
They pumped water into a temporary tank, which could make a big difference in the war on flames. Resources spread more thin by the hour.
Today in particular, we're a little short-handed on manpower, so where a truck would ideally have maybe 4 people, today we're getting by with 1 or 2 people.
All the while, James worries about his neighbors.
I'm very concerned about it because if that wind turns northwest, we're all going to be in trouble.
Potential trouble that's unsettling from miles away. In McDowell County,
Let's go, guys, line it up.
they won't remember every single play or every practice.
Go, get your stuff on.
But chances are they will remember the feeling.
He makes practice really fun for us.
All right, here we go.
Yep, here we go again with Coach Vic Inman.
Hit it. Down. Hustle over the side, sprints.
Past players say the current crop of Bethel Mites will grow to appreciate the man.
Head up, head up. Wrap.
Who's here for all the right reasons.
Hang on. Started out coaching, you know, because I love the game of football, like to watch it. Just to see them improve so much from the start of the season to the end of the season.
He's coached youth football for 49 years here. So long that his worlds collided with generations. Sometimes they take some hits. They might even fumble. Or they might just take the ball and run with it. Carter Browning got the scouting report on Vic from grandfather Roy.
I've always asked him, do you know my coach? Do you know my coach? He's like, yeah, he used to be mine. And he said that Vic, he's just the same way.
You got to tuck it and follow through the hole.
He's never changed his style, and
huddle up.
Since then, he's won Super Bowls after Super Bowls. He's won everything.
He's won 9 championships. So the former paper plant workers built a title factory.
When you're at work, you answer to a boss. You've got to do what he needs you to do. The same way out here, you have to do what the team needs you to do.
Beyond wins and losses, his real legacy is the players.
Well, my assistant coach, I coached him as he come through.
Not to mention Scott Moore's 2 boys.
It's not just about football, it's about life.
No matter how much the world has changed outside the lines,
if he moves over to that gap, you have to get him.
Generations have found wisdom in a calming voice.
Power shotgun right direct, snap to the fullback, 33 on
34.
one. 34 on one. Wait, 34?
I treated them fairly and tried to get the best out of them that I could.
The foundation for both success and fond memories.
Do the best you can.
In Haywood County,
Smile, man. That guy has an amazing smile.
If you bounce around Asheville's music scene enough times, there's a good chance you'll hear Kevin Rumley play. It shouldn't surprise you the musician cares about how things sound at home.
And then there's another button, and it's called 3D, and it just like blooms in your ears. And that's when it all started. I was like, oh my God, headphones. And I'm deaf from the bomb blast, so like, it's pretty epic.
After high school, he heard the call to duty.
After my mom passed away, 11th and 12th grade were kind of difficult. I was kind of a reckless youth, so I had enough insight that, hey, I need something to change because this isn't working out. And I had always looked up to the Marines and looked up to my dad. So it was kind of an easy decision.
The Marines sent the rocker to Iraq.
All I really remember is turning around just to check rear security. And then right as I'm turning back around is when the IED went off and just blacked out. It just that feeling of like gasping for air, you know, like drowning and just like gulping, trying to, just figure out what I am. You know, I totally dissociated.
For his wounds, Kevin received the Purple Heart.
Beneath that veneer is this huge story.
Kevin Rumley always knew what was ahead.
A story that includes 32 surgeries, which News 13 first told 10 years ago, almost to the day.
Maybe they're surprised.
The story also includes suffering we couldn't see back then.
Vividly remember how difficult it was to create just a normal sentence. Like, that was really demanding on my brain at the time.
Physically recovered, but internally suffering from addiction.
I was still in active use, still drinking heavily.
Alcohol and opioids.
90% of people that try and get off opioids are going to fail.
He's found success now as a person in long-term recovery.
He has the story. His story is remarkable.
A story and a life made better because of mentor Eric Howard.
And I asked him, I said, you know, Kevin, why are you so happy? Because he's always happy. He's a happy guy. He tries real hard. He fights demons every day. And he goes, well, when you're almost dead, it adds new perspective. And I'm like, okay.
I still can return to like that state of mind where it's like, who am I? What am I? What is this? Everything. You know.
Kevin used to intern for Howard at the Buncombe County Veterans Treatment Court.
Good morning. How many days sober we got?
Howard worked as the court's coordinator. It's just for veterans, and if a veteran pleads guilty, they can get help, and if successful, ultimately have their charge dismissed.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your service.
Well, integrity goes along with it.
Kevin started off mentoring clients like Nick.
So what is happiness to you now?
Happiness now
in this
is
context.
Not being in cuffs.
And he's earned their respect.
We kind of see, oh wait, there are boundaries, but they're self-imposed.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And that's kind of our moral compass.
Mm-hmm. He listens to people. He hears what they have to say.
I'm not used to people being nice to me, treating me with respect, talking to me, instead of talking to me rather than talking through me.
No, this is great.
Yeah.
To Rumley,
Kevin no longer works for Howard.
you take care of this team because they're going to take care of you. It's a great group of people. You can't do anything without them. With that, your new interim coordinator, Mr. Kevin Rumley.
Dr. Howard, this is from the entire treatment team, veterans, everyone, and it's the dog tags, and it says leave no veteran behind.
All right.
And that is what Dr. Howard has done with this program, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Kevin, you notice how big that shirt is? It's going to be pretty hard to fill it.
I know, Your Honor. This is true.
We leave you with Kevin leading the Veterans Treatment Court.
He's going to crush it. Because in 10 years, you might be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. I might need a job.
Who knows what the next decade holds? In Buncombe County with photojournalist Consider the college student, always something due or to do.
Yeah.
For freshman Jordan Strickland, it's a matter of focus.
No, so I'm not used to this. I don't know like how to act when
As long as the focus isn't on her.
I'm not good with being like the center of attention and stuff and all that. So this is weird for me.
Either he makes all three or he misses at least one.
In the classroom, she blends in. Elsewhere, she stands out.
Dad, Cats on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cats.
Jordan plays Division I tennis for Western Carolina University.
Just so you know. Just so you know.
Coming out of high school, she was a 4-star recruit ranked as high as 160 in the country.
Delete bad footage.
It was a big deal for the coaches to make her a cat.
Oh yeah.
It's rare to have someone who, honestly, in the time she's been here, has probably not had one bad day of practice.
Head coach Michaela Kissel-Edens calls Jordan's attitude a breath of fresh air.
So awkward because I breathe so heavy.
Now listen to what makes her consistency remarkable.
I was 3 days old.
Her opponents have no idea.
They caught really early.
A lot of girls on campus or her friends have no idea.
Which I was very fortunate about.
And you would never know if she didn't say anything about it. So
it's something Jordan doesn't like to focus on.
Yeah. Cystic fibrosis, yes.
She was born with cystic fibrosis. Jordan can explain it. The disease usually infects the lungs and limits people's ability to breathe. But she can't explain how she plays at such a high level.
I wonder about it sometimes too.
People with CF typically live until about 40. Jordan lives for tennis, which helps her health.
It makes it a little harder for me to breathe, especially when I'm running and stuff, but I think through playing sports and everything, that's kind of helped made my lungs stronger in a sense, and so I think tennis has definitely been a great component to keeping me healthy.
Strickland didn't grow up talking about cystic fibrosis.
Okay, Lauren, let's go. Lauren, oh yeah.
But Lauren McCall always knew.
She inspires me.
They grew up playing tennis together. They're now teammates. McCall says her friend's lung condition gives the whole team heart.
It literally inspires every single one of us because, like, all right, we all have, all right, my wrist is hurting, somebody's elbow's hurting, but Jordan has cystic fibrosis and we see her out here competing every single day and she never complains. So it, like, inspires us to keep going even though we might be a little hurt or something.
We have a match tomorrow.
As a young tennis player, Jordan says she didn't understand the disease. Taking medications was like hitting a blistering backhand. It was just a habit. Now in college, more people see her taking meds and they ask about it. Strickland doesn't want to be in the limelight, but hopes spotlighting cystic fibrosis inspires more than her teammates.
Great shot, Jordan! You can do whatever you want to do. You can do what you love, and that's one of my main reasons for wanting to do this.
That's it, Jordan.
In Cullowhee.
Thanks, Jordan.
With photojournalist. Anything else you want to tell us?
Jordan rocks. Okay, you can cut that out.
Muscle has always been a part of the American spirit.
People that know me know I'm tougher than woodpecker lips.
But while these cars look strong, the original American muscle is just down the road.
I've been arm wrestling ever since the middle school, and I've always been good at it.
Good might be an understatement for Bobby Searcy. But now,
give me Crystal Duncan.
He's bringing his love of arm wrestling to the mountains of Western North Carolina.
3. Winner right here.
You got to have 3 aisles to be an arm wrestling champion. Agile, mobile, and hostile. In that order.
Now, this isn't the arm wrestling you remember from the playground.
Right here!
There are actually rules.
Keep your feet down.
The first grip is make sure you got your hand on the peg. That's the number 1. Never can let go. If you open your hands up, disqualification.
You can look at someone like Chris Blackwell
3. Come on, hey, come on. It's over.
And guess this might be right up his alley.
I always loved it from a kid.
It's not that he doesn't lose. It's just been a while. It's
been about 8 years.
Our women's champion.
For Searcy, though, he developed his love from always being the smallest guy at school.
3.
It's just earning the respect from another person at something that everybody's good at and tries to be good at. That's what you achieve right there.
And his hope is that when he's pulled the last wrist down, that's what will be his lasting mark.
3. When I leave this world, you know, I want everybody to say that now that boy was a good arm wrestler, one of the best.
Something about the mountains inspires people to get out and get moving.
Hurry, hurry. Usually that's me.
During a hellish workout,
Overhead, like you're an angel.
there's a touch
There you go.
Katie De Los Santos offers. It's kind of motherly.
I go.
There's a reason for that.
Since I coach, it's kind of one of those things where I help out when I can.
She lifts as much as she can stomach, which means it's more than most.
Yeah, I mean, she still lifts heavier than I do.
That's tough.
Katie inspires everyone in this gym.
We all look for inspiration. At this gym, Katie provides it.
It wasn't like, should I or shouldn't I? She just kept showing up.
July 11th is my due date.
If that isn't inspiration, I don't know what is.
I'm doing things that are hopefully going to help me recover faster from having a baby.
We met her 3.5 weeks away from her due date.
She was the fittest person in here before she got pregnant.
My doctor said 38, 39. I'm like, that sounds good. Yeah. I like that. 26.
No people or pups stare at Katie carrying weights.
A couple women at our gym just had babies not too long ago and were working out pretty far into their pregnancy.
A friend of mine is currently pregnant. She's still coming in.
Gym members are used to seeing pregnant women working out. An OBGYN at Mayheck says about a decade ago, fitness recommendations changed.
The advice that we give women regarding exercise in pregnancy is more individualized. If a patient is in shape and exercising before pregnancy, we really want her to continue that throughout the pregnancy.
Katie knows what she's doing.
I've scaled back in my weight.
She exercises multiple times a week and has been doing that for years. So pregnancy provided an opportunity.
She's got to clear a basketball to get it up.
If anything, it's a bonus weight.
I'm just gonna get stronger.
The tall cleans, I'm like,
De Los Santos plans to work out up until the week of her delivery. Soon, when she's not lifting spirits at the gym, she'll be lifting up a second child.
You gonna ride the bike or you gonna go play on the ropes?
In Asheville.
Okay. You gotta hold on tight. Did it bump you in the head?
There's a burglary every 21 seconds in the U.S., according to the FBI.
People are brave. I mean, they don't care.
Last year, over 1 million nationwide were the victim of a home break-in.
I don't know if they were still in the house when I got home or not.
A loss of about $3.6 billion.
My stomach just kind of froze in the hallway.
And over half the time, thieves came in through a door.
See where they kicked it, like right here is one of the handprints.
It happened to Natasha Wheatley, unnerving this mother with an infant and toddler at home.
And they had been upstairs at some point because the bedroom door to my daughter's room was wide open.
Ripping out the deadbolt in its still locked position.
Kicked this completely when they kicked the door, and this was completely out like this. So they busted all of that. It just kind of floored me that it was that easy.
Thieves already know how easy it is. Watch. One kick, and I'm in.
Wow.
Locksmith Mike Gatlin explains.
All the screw does is make a track for a crack to start in that wood, and then it just breaks out from there.
Here's why. Take a look at the screws that come standard with just about every door lock kit. 3/4 inch screws.
It split where the screws were screwed into the wood because it just broke out this small piece of trim that's only 3/4 of an inch thick. And you only had maybe a 1/2 inch of screw going into that.
Only securing the strike plate to the decorative frame around the door. And one kick.
3 foot inside the door is the part that you kicked out.
But there's a better way to secure your door. The cost, $1. Our locksmith replaced those 3/4 inch screws in the strike plate with 2 3-inch screws you can find at any home improvement store.
You're gaining a minimum of 2 inches of security going into a 2x4 piece of wood that's stronger, sturdier.
So when I kicked, and kicked.
Oh, come on.
And kicked.
The door gives more now than the frame gives. The door bends because the latches on the locks are holding the edge of the door secure, and the door is bending.
Starting to huff and puff a little bit.
You've done more now than most people will do to try to break in because you've made a lot of noise. And somebody next door is going to hear.
A $1 fix, keeping intruders out.
They don't want to spend the time, they don't want to make the noise, they don't have the time for it. And they'll move on to the next door neighbor who doesn't have the 3-inch screws.
Just ask the Wheatleys.
Because if it was that easy for us, for our door to get kicked in, I mean, all the houses in the neighborhood's made the same.
All the more reason to take action. $1 in 15 minutes could be what stands between you and someone in your home.